The morning sunlight trickled softly through the dense canopy of trees, casting golden streaks that danced across the courtyard. A gentle wind carried the mingling aromas of freshly painted wood, dew-soaked soil, and distant tea brewing. It was the kind of morning that held both promise and quiet anticipation. James and Diep stood together in front of their newly established shop, DJ Agriculture. Clean produce from the heart. The sign, freshly hung, glistened in the early sun. Each letter was a testament to their ambition and tireless effort, a quiet declaration of dreams made tangible. James stepped back, hands still flecked with paint, and squinted to take it all in. A faint smile crossed his face, an expression that blended pride, relief, and hope. "It's finally done," he murmured, the words barely audible over the soft rustle of the leaves. Diep stepped closer, wiping the corners of the sign carefully, her eyes reflecting the morning light like twin pools of joy. "It looks even better than I imagined," she said softly. A bead of sweat trickled down her temple, but her smile shone brighter than the rising sun. The past few days of preparation, painting, and planning had tested their patience and endurance, but in that moment, every sleepless night felt worth it. The scent of fresh paint intertwined with the faint aroma of tea from a nearby house, enveloping them in a calm sense of homecoming and beginnings. A short walk away, Diep approached the house of the landlord to finalize the lease. The small home, with its aged lime walls, looked unassuming yet meticulously cared for. The elderly man sat on his porch, a teacup in hand, observing the street with the quiet patience of someone who had seen generations come and go. When he noticed Diep, his face softened with recognition and warmth. "You're here already." "Come in, have some tea. It's cool this morning," he said gently. Diep accepted, seating herself with careful politeness, hands resting neatly on her knees. "I came to discuss renting the space I mentioned earlier. We'd like to partition it so we can have a small working area of our own," Diep explained. The landlord nodded thoughtfully. "Yes, I remember. We're all from the same village." "No need for complicated paperwork. I trust you too. Honesty goes a long way." Diep smiled, gratitude warming her chest. "Thank you, Uncle. I'd like to leave a deposit of $5 million first. When the workers arrive tomorrow to build the partition, I'll pay the rest, just to keep everything clear and fair." The old man chuckled, eyes twinkling. "You're careful, I like that. Let's do it your way." "And if any trouble arises, just let me know. People from the same village should look out for one another." Meanwhile, James was busy arranging flower pots near the shop. adjusting the sunshade above the entrance. Together, they crafted a quiet, beautiful tableau, two young dreamers, building their vision one careful, deliberate step at a time, supported by mutual trust, kindness, and the goodwill of those around them. The wind drifted in from the distant fields, carrying with it the earthy scent of freshly turned soil. James, wearing a dark baseball cap and holding a rolled-up blueprint, glanced back at Diep walking a few paces behind. "Come on," he said with a smile. "I want to show you the new land we just bought." This is the start of something far bigger than we've ever imagined. The dirt path wound gently between rows of tall China berry trees, leaves whispering under the soft wind. The horizon stretched endlessly, a canvas of lush green that seemed almost too perfect to be real. Midway down the road, James stopped and gestured toward rows of pomelo trees, standing tall and proud. "These are 100 cat pomelos," he explained, his voice steady and filled with quiet excitement. "Easy to grow, but they need careful pruning. Over there are 50 FT trait pomelos, large, fragrant, and highly sought after." He pointed toward another plot near the pond's edge. "I fertilized them with organic compost 2 weeks ago." "Look at those leaves, they're glowing." Diep wandered among the trees, awe etching her features. The endless greenery seemed to stretch into eternity, filling her heart with wonder. She bent to touch a low branch glistening with dew. James smiled, producing a small knife, slicing a fruit in half, and offering her a taste. The tangy sweetness was a whisper of the potential the orchard held. "Good," she said, wrinkling her nose slightly. "But not quite ready, right?" James nodded. "Not yet. Another month of sunlight, and the sugar will rise, the flesh firm." "That's when we harvest." He scanned the orchard, voice imbued with conviction. "The first batch of pomelos won't be for sale." "It's our company's first branded product, a legacy of our hard work. And every part of the fruit will be used, peels for candied fruit, rinds for herbal shampoo." Nothing wasted. Diep listened, pride swelling in her chest. James wasn't just speaking of a business plan, he was sharing his soul, his vision, his unwavering belief in the value of Vietnamese agriculture and the dignity of its farmers. Their walk continued toward a sunlit pineapple field, leaves glinting sharply in the afternoon sun. James crouched to inspect the soil. Off-season fruit is small and sour, but by August or September, peak season, we could earn about 20 million per harvest. Pineapple jam, juice, or syrup, double the value with the right care. Beyond the canal is the edge of our land. "I'm thinking of raising ducks under the pomelo trees. They'll fertilize the soil and keep pests in check. Self-sustaining, nothing wasted. The sun cast long shadows across the orchard as Diep absorbed every word, every detail. She knew they weren't just tending to a farm, they were building a future, a testament to resilience, vision, and quiet faith. Later, James returned to his father's villa, the imposing gates creaking open. The scent of pomelo leaves lingered as he stepped into the vast courtyard. Inside, Mr. David awaited, a steaming cup of tea beside him. His voice, calm yet commanding, filled the room. The company needs a manager. Your brothers are tied up in Singapore. I want you back, he said. Don't let everything fall apart because of stubbornness. James's jaw tightened. I've chosen a different path. I want to build something of my own, not live off the family business. The tension thickened. Mr. David's gaze cut deep. You're giving up every opportunity just to grow a few pomelos? Is that really worth it? James met his father's eyes steadily. I'm not growing a few pomelos. I'm building a brand where farmers can take pride in their work. That's my belief. The room fell into heavy silence, the clock ticking steadily. Finally, Mr. David shifted. And your plans to marry? I won't stop you, but adopting that child, I cannot agree. James's resolve hardened. Beanie is innocent. I love her as my own. I will not choose between family and what I believe is right. He walked out, the dusk settling cold and quiet around him, each step heavy yet resolute. Back home, Diep and James's mother prepared a modest dinner. The aroma of simmering pork, ginger, and fried shallots filled the kitchen, mingling with the laughter and chatter of little Nee, who proudly displayed her drawings of a family, a garden, and a blue sky overhead. The evening was simple, peaceful, and full of warmth. Bowls of steaming rice, braised fish, and morning glory with garlic fish sauce filled the table. James poured wine into their glasses, toasting to a future built on love, faith, and perseverance. Amid the laughter, a note of concern arrived via phone. CEO Hong had gone missing during a business trip to a remote region. The family's casual joy was tinged with unease, but they clung to the hope that the absence was nothing more than a technical glitch, a temporary disconnection in a vast and unpredictable world. Still, in James's heart, an uneasy premonition had begun to stir. A storm was approaching, not of his making, yet one that would test the resilience of the life he was building with Diep and little Nee. As the night deepened and the golden light from the DJ Agriculture sign reflected off the porch, the promise of tomorrow remained undiminished. They had a home, a dream, and each other, and that was enough to face whatever challenges lay ahead.